All right, let's break this problem down. It says factor completely. It is a trinomial. We have three terms separated by pluses and minuses. Our leading coefficient does not look like it's a 1, but it is going to become a 1. So we have to remember our first two steps to factor. And the first step is to make sure it's in order, and the second step is to take out a GCF. So let's talk about the first step. Is it in order? And yeah, this is in order. It's in order of descending x's. I have x to the second, I have x to the first, and then here there's really no x, or x to the 0. So the problem is in order, and now we need to look and see if there's a greatest common factor, and of course there is for this problem. So the GCF for all three terms, we're going to take it and we're going to write it out in the front. Let me do it down here. So let's look at just the coefficients. If you look at the coefficients, what number goes into all three of these? And it's 2. 2 is going to go into all three of those terms. What about x's? Can I divide an x out of all three of these terms? No, I don't have any x's over here. So x is not part of my GCF. What about y? Yep. See, I have a y there, and a y there. I have one y in every term. So that is also going to be part of my GCF, is 2y. My greatest common factor is 2y. And when I divide out the 2y from all three of these terms, let's see what's left. The first term, divide out the 2 and the y. Well, I'm left with an x squared. Plus my second term, divide out a 2 and a y. Well, 2 goes in here once, 2 goes in here 15 times. Y cancels with y. So I'm left with 15x. Okay, this is just like dividing polynomials. And in the last term, 2 goes in here once, 2 goes into 58, it's 29, and y cancels with y. So all I'm left with here is 29, and it's going to be a minus 29. So now that I've taken out my GCF, the GCF is going to stay on the outside, but now I can factor this trinomial, and it is a trinomial with a leading coefficient of 1. So I'm going to fill in my 4 green blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4. With the leading coefficient of 1, 1x squared, my first two terms are going to be x and x. And my last two numbers are going to multiply to give me 29. So let's list all of our possible factors of 29. Well, 1 and 29, and that's it because 29 is prime. So let's see if it works out. What am I doing to 1 and 29? I am subtracting them. Wait a second. If I subtract 1 minus 29, that'll give me negative 28, or 29 minus 1 will give me 28. Is that my middle term here? No. So this cannot be factored into two binomials. So my answer here is just this. So all I needed to do for this problem is to take out the GCF, and then it was factored completely. So here's my answer without all the other colors. It's the 2y that I took out. And after I factored that out, it's plus 15x minus 29, and then that's it. Now, I tried to factor that trinomial in the middle, but it didn't work out. So you always want to keep trying to factor completely, but in this case, this is your answer.